Hello everyone. In this session, we are going to see data types in Java. So basically, you should know what is this data, what is this data types. Okay. So this is very basic concept in Java that you need to learn in order to proceed with Java. Okay. So let's see what is this data is. So you might be having a different view on what is data is already. For example, if you take a registration form of an account creation of a Gmail, you will be asked for first name, last name, date of birth, or some. If you take some other registration form, it will ask for your mobile number. Sometimes it will ask for in other applications you might need to select the quantity. If you're purchasing any product in Amazon or Flipkart, you will be taking a quantity. Like that, there are a lot of datas. So it can be a string, it can be a number, or it can be a floating decimal point numbers, or it can be a boolean true or false, all those things. So in Java, generally, these data type specifies the size and type of a value. Okay, remember, it specifies the size and a type of value that you are storing. So these data types helps us to organize the data and store the data values in respective format that will consume a respective memory which will not waste. Okay, so this is basically when you declare a variable and when you are storing data, it will be occupying some memory. Okay, for data it will occupy some memory. For first name, last name, for example, that's a string, so that occupies some memory. This is the overall picture of what is data and what is the data type is. Hope you got some idea on what how we use this in a real time. Okay, now in Java there are two types of data types. One is primitive and other one is non-primitive. So primitive or basic data types that we generally come across on our daily life when we are browsing some applications. So in primitive data types, we have four, mainly divided into four. One is an integer, other one is floating point, and other one is a character, and next one is a boolean. Okay, let's see integer. In integer, you have different kinds of categorize in that. One is byte, short, int, and long. So you might be having a doubt why these are again divided into different parts. So you will be knowing that in the next slide. But basically, you should know one point here. So if you want to load or if you want to store huge data, you need huge memory. If you want to store less data, you need a less memory. Okay, say for example, you have a mobile and you need to take a videos and photograph. You are in that field, like you have a hobby of taking photographs and videos. So for that purpose, you will be needing a huge memory card like 128 GB, 64 like that. Or and for people who do not have hobby of taking pictures and videos and they are just using the mobile as per the need, they don't need a memory card, right? They can have a minimum memory of 8 GB or 4 GB like that, right? So in Java also, based on the need you storing for your purpose for our application, we should choose that kind of data type here. So byte is the lowest, next short is the lowest and greater than byte, and int is bit bigger size, and long is again occupies more memory. So in the same way, floating point as well. These floating points are like if you want to store some decimal points like 1.25, 2.50, such decimal points will be stored using this floating point. In that also you have float and double with different sizes. If you want to store huge number of decimal point data, then you have a double, and if it is less, then you have a float. Coming to character, if you want to store some characters like knowledge, you want to store a string knowledge, you want to store a string share. So for that normal purposes, you will be using a character which has a limited length. Okay, and coming to boolean, in some cases you in applications you might have seen some applications which has true or false. You need to select from a drop down whether it is true or false, or you might be having, for example, I'll give you one real time example. Once you fill a registration form, at the bottom you will always see a checkbox called I agree, and they will specify some conditions and terms. You will be clicking on the checkbox and clicking on submit, right? So whenever you click the checkbox and submit, it will navigate to you the next page. But if you do not click the checkbox and if you click on submit, immediately it will throw you an error stating you did not click the checkbox, please accept the conditions and terms and conditions. How the system knows that? Because that is stored in a boolean. So that checkbox will have a validation whether it is true or false. So Boolean will store only two values, true or false, to verify the application uh, conditions. Okay. Next, coming to this non-primitive, you have if you want to store same kind of data in a large things, like if you want to store huge number of employee IDs or huge number of roll numbers, like that. So if you want to store same kind of data in different, in a same in a same container kind of thing, then you will be using this non-primitive data types, arrays, strings, classes, interface, which we will discuss in detail in the further session. Now let's see how this memory occupation is applicable for choosing these data types. Okay. So here you can see there are four data types. These are primitive data types. One is Boolean char, and other two parts at the bottom are an integer and a numeric. Okay. So Boolean occupies only 1 bit and character occupies 2 bytes. Okay. And integer, you can see, as I said you, it will be an incremental manner. If you want to store less data, you will use byte. If you want to store more than that, then you will be using short. So byte occupies 1 byte, short occupies 2 bytes, and integer occupies 4 bytes, and long occupies 8 bytes. And also this has a huge range also. It has a range also, which we will be seeing in the next examples. Okay, so long will accept only till 1 lakh, 30 lakhs, or something like that, for example. Okay, so you will be seeing that limitations or limits till which numbers it will store. Okay. And coming to floating points, there are two types here also. You have a float and a double data type. And if you want to store a less decimal point information or data, you will be using 4 bytes. And if you want to store huge one, again 8 bytes. Even this also has some limited number which will accept, and we will see that in an example. So this is a overall picture of data types. So basically the key takeaway of this session is you have to know that each and every data will be stored in a memory. Okay, and to store into your memory, you should have a data type declared. You should store with some identification, and as per your need, you will be choosing the data type so that it occupies a correct memory without wastage of memory. Okay, so this is all about data types. In the next session, we will see each and every type each and every type of data type in practical, and we will play with these data types and see how far it is able to accept the numbers and ranges, and we will do some practical examples in that session. Okay, so keep learning. Just remember these points. I'll be giving you some uh, description as well to memorize it very well, so that you can, just by looking at the description, you will know how much sizes are of their applicable for these data types. Okay, so meet you in the next session with an practical example so that you will get some idea on what is these data types are. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.